Welcome back to Kin in Line. This is chapter 20, and I'm afraid we're still stuck in an army bungalow in Kimberley around about 1980. So this guy's sitting on a steel cupboard or probably watching television. They had TV sets stuck up on each end of the wall, on the wall on each end of the bungalow. And people soaked up the propaganda. Sometimes you could just lie in bed and chat to your mate next door or watch TV. It was just life as a soldier. Here I've used just a minimum of lines to capture a handful of guys sitting around, some lying down, others seated. Look at this chap's. Yeah, I've always liked this drawing, just for its absolute use of so few lines to create a picture that tells a lot about that interior there. More guys sitting around. That would have been the TV, I think, on the left, top left. And on the right, you can see a neat soldier. This thing would have read, a neat soldier is a proud soldier. A proud soldier is a good soldier. And actually, in the media center, that's the kind of stuff we'd have to do, the sign writing and all that sort of rubbish. But this was before I got into the media center. I think I was still on that intelligence course. Again, just a few lines, and you've got a guy sort of looking around in his bed. Another interesting character with a distorted profile. And it's something only a quick sketch can give you, is that sort of exaggeration. As I said, people were watching TV from all angles. And here there were these little shelves along this was a smaller bungalow with a dividing wall between and the TV set visible only if you got some height. So this chap was sitting on one of these things. Fortunately, it didn't collapse under him. Yeah, more guys parking off. Some heavy eyebrows there. As you can see, I did a lot of sketching while other people sat around. Here you get the sense of bed after bed after bed. Look at this guy's nose. just a function of quick sketching, you know, and you don't, so he never looked like that, but that is an interesting face. Okay, so people slept and slept and slept. Oopsie. So the perfect models for me, really. Didn't have to pay them. There's that same guy that used to snore. Great sleepers, these chaps. And you can contort your body into various poses when you go to sleep. And yeah, I mean, this makes quite an interesting sculptural thing. It's a blanket sort of wrapped around a face jutting out. And yeah, the human form becomes almost like a landscape with hills and things. So that's sort of up-jutting shoulder blade, I suppose. Yeah. Again, yeah, interestingly, I've used pencil and pen. So maybe the pen started running out of ink, or almost three mediums here. I think there's black and blue ballpoint and pencil, which actually makes for quite an interesting drawing. Now this is actually a blast from my basics days in Ladysmith. We saw this guy earlier. He had the Mohican, and yeah, he wouldn't be proud of that, but and just one more dozy chap. So there was a place where people had to iron their clothes, like a big ironing board thing. And this chap was chatting to his mate who was ironing. It's funny how you can remember details just from a drawing like this. Preparing for inspection. So I think this guy was just tying his boot or something. But I think this is Terence Cater, and he was very good with the floor polisher. So fortunately there was somebody who cared, and he would polish up the floor a bit before they came and did inspection. And I think this is a portrait of him with his polisher. Again, this is something that he would be very proud of today. And here is his weapon of choice. I've tried to remember, I racked my brains for years, there was a name for these pieces of cloth that would lie around on the floor, and you'd sort of stand on them and polish the floor with them. But I can't remember it. But look at that glistening floor. Just a couple more people preparing for inspection before we sign off. Yeah, probably polishing his boots. So after the weekend, the Sunday, by the Sunday, the bungalow was a mess. Then you had to spend that evening tidying it up and getting ready for the Monday morning inspection. Yeah, it's probably polishing his boots or and interesting anomaly here, we have an African chap who seemed to help wash clothes for some, probably for the officers or something. And he was hard at it at the same place where we used to have to wash our stuff. And I've got him here again. Same guy, same expression, same hat. A beanie, I think they call it. And then probably done at the same time, also washing. It would have been one of our colleagues. Looks like a kind of a, look at the head there, he's moved, and I've just basically done two heads. I mentioned ironing. So I did this watercolor from my bed, probably, of a chap ironing. I think this is that same Kurt guy I mentioned earlier. So this was done without any preceding drawing. I just painted straight onto this piece of card. And look at the little cup on the left for water for him to. Some people took ironing their clothes very seriously. Anyway, let me leave you with this. Thanks for now. Cheers.